we have been doing recently, at least for a while. I'm going to read the opening statement for our public meeting for tonight's agenda, making sure everybody's on the same page again because we're in a semi-public, semi-virtual environment. So I'm just going to read our statement at the beginning just so everybody's on the same page and how the meeting's going to proceed. So good evening. This is the regularly scheduled April 8th meeting of the Geneva Planning and Zoning Commission. I am Scott Stocking. I'm chairman of the commission. Tonight, for the benefit of those joining the audience, I'm joined by our city planner, Jake Drew. Our public transcriber is also here. So, and then we have a good quorum of the commissioners. So Adam is the only one that's virtual right now. So that's a very nice change. So in adherence of Governor Pritzker's Executive Order 2021-05 related to COVID-19 pandemic, the City of Geneva meetings are now a combination of in-person and virtual. The aforementioned executive orders limit the gatherings to the lesser of 50 people or 50% of overall room capacity. This means no more than 29 individuals, including the public, commission, staff, are allowed in council chambers for all meetings. With that being said, meetings will continue to be virtually accessible to the public and members of the commission, some of which have elected to do so at this meeting. As a requirement of the Open Meetings Act, I'm required to be physically present at the meeting location. With our use of electronic meeting platform for this meeting, there may be, hopefully maybe, some technical difficulties as we move through our agenda, so please bear with us. Meetings will also be live streamed for the public to provide the ability to hear all discussion in real time, testimony and roll call votes of the opening meeting in real time as well. Please visit the city website for details on how to watch the meeting live. Individuals experiencing technical difficulties may email to goadmin@genevail.us for assistance. While the public may be limited or restricted from attending the meeting in person, individuals wishing to provide public comment may do so in advance or during the meeting by sending an email to publiccomment@geneva.il.us. In addition, individuals unable to attend in person due to gathering restrictions may be recognized during the meeting by accessing the meeting via the link provided in the meeting agenda found on the city's website at www.geneva.il.us. For more information about meeting procedures or providing public comment, please see notice requiring public or meeting and public comment rule modification due to COVID-19, a link to which is provided on the agenda for this meeting this evening. A public hearing will be held tonight for this meeting, item 5A, regarding a sign variation request for Depaul Canine campus located at 100 South Glengarry Drive. Every individual desiring to listen and or participate in the meeting has been provided that opportunity through the participation information included in the various public notices and the agenda for this meeting. Letters have been sent to the property owners within 500 feet of the proposed project, notifying these individuals of the date, time, format, and subject of the public hearing. A public notice with the same information also published in the Daily Herald 15 days prior to tonight's public hearing. All interested parties are invited to present testimony for and against the petition and cross-examine witnesses presenting testimony for or against the petition. At this point, I will describe the remote public hearing proceedings of the Planning and Zoning Commission for those of you who are not familiar with the process. First, the public hearing will be open and the petitioner will provide an overview of the contemplated development and will present any supporting plans or exhibits. Following the presentation, the commission members will have a first opportunity to ask the petitioner questions. After the initial questions by commission members, members of the public will have an opportunity to present testimony or evidence and testimony for or against the application and cross-examine the petitioner. Public participants may provide testimony either through written comments or by speaking at the meeting. All members of the public providing evidence and testimony are also subject to cross-examination by the other members of the public and or the commission. Members speaking during the public hearing agree and understand that anything they say will be considered sworn testimony and affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Members of the virtual audience who wish to speak will be asked to use the raised hand feature through the virtual meeting platform. Audience members will then be called on, unmuted, and given an opportunity to comment. We ask that you state your name and address when it is your turn to speak. If you speak multiple times, please state your name each time. If your comment has already been made and your question has already been asked, it is not necessary to repeat it. Remind members of the public to refrain from veering off topic and direct comments to the subject matter. After providing comment, each speaker will be muted once again. Please note that there may be a slight delay between becoming unmuted and being able to begin speaking. All comments will be recorded so that a written transcription and minutes can be prepared at this meeting. Just a reminder that all speakers are asked to present their comments in a respectful and courteous manner. It should be mentioned that in the event that not all members of the public have presented desired testimony during the allotted time at this evening's meeting, the public hearing will be continued to a future meeting. Following the public testimony, the petitioner will have an opportunity to answer questions or respond to any comments made from members of the public. The public hearing will then be closed and the commission will begin its deliberation. Okay, in order to reduce background noise, I recommend that all commissioners joining virtually to mute themselves except when they are addressing the commission. Commissioners joining virtually also need to state their names prior to speaking and providing a roll call vote to better assist our record keepers. For example, saying stocking, aye, nay, or abstain. Okay? Well, in this case, it'll only be Adams. Okay, so that's how we'll proceed with this meeting. It's been this way since we've gone through the code of procedures under the governor's order. So that's how we're going to proceed. Celeste, will you please call the roll?
Yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. Holloman,
Here.
Evans,
Here.
Metaskill,
Madaskill here.
Mead,
Mead here.
Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse,
He's no
are
longer
you
with the
here?
commission, Celeste. He is-
What's that?
He's no longer
Oh,
with the
God.
commission, he's resigned.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I got an old roll. Slivka,
Here.
okay. Stocking,
Stocking eye.
okay. Now, is that all of them, everybody? Did
That's
I miss
everybody.
anybody?
Yep, we don't have a new commissioner yet.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, so
We have a quorum.
we have a quorum, so we can proceed. Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Okay,
Sorry, Celeste.
Chairman? I'm sorry, Chairman, who made the motion?
Slivka made the motion and Mead seconded it.
No.
No, Evans
Sorry,
seconded.
Evans seconded.
Oh, so Mead and then Slivka.
No, Slivka made the motion.
Okay, thank you.
And Mim seconded it.
Got it,
All
thank
right,
you.
all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
All right, so next item on the agenda is approval of minutes of the February 11th, 2021 meeting. Do I have a motion?
Evans, move to approve.
Slivka, second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, so we got that. All right, we have one item on our agenda this evening. It's a public hearing. It's a Depaul Canine campus sign, a sign variation to allow a wall sign on a secondary building facade. The location is 100 South Glengarry Avenue, and the applicant is Pet Properties LLC. Wait, do you have items on the record? Do you want to read into?
Yes, Chairman. So the contents of this file include an application for a sign variation filed by Stephanie Caliendo of Pet Properties LLC. This application was dated January 21st, 2021, and includes a statement of the applicant, response to sign variation standards, proposed sign specifications, and property photographs. The contents of this file also includes a staff report from the Community Development Department to the Planning and Zoning Commission dated April 8th, 2021. A map of Geneva's traffic counts in May of 2020. A certificate of publication from the Daily Herald for the legal notice that was published on March 24th, 2021 for tonight's public hearing, and a copy of the notice mailed to all property owners within 500 feet.
All right, thank you very much. All right, we will hear from the applicant.
Hello,
Hello.
I'm Stephanie Caliendo. Sorry, I've never been to one of these. We've had a sign on the side of the building since prior to me being there. Prior to me being there in 2007, and I'm just asking to be able to keep a sign on that side of the building. What else to say?
That's it? Okay. All right. Is the sign, I mean, there was a sign there at one time, I remember. That's why did you remove the sign, or what's the situation with that?
Yeah, since when I moved in there in 2007, there was a previous dog daycare there called Fido's Dog Daycare, owned by a Stephanie Winters. When I came, I took over the lease in January 2007 from Shodine. A few months prior, I don't honestly remember when, but a few months later, I took the word Fido's off and left the word dog daycare there because I couldn't yet afford a new sign. And then that has been up there since October of 2020. And then we were under construction, and I put up a new sign, not realizing that I need to go through all the proper things. And I went and got a permit, and they said the proper way to go about this is to ask for a variance.
Okay, all right, so that kind of explains it, because when I was starting to read it, it's like, there is a sign there.
Yeah.
And I just hadn't
Yeah.
seen it removed, so thanks for that clarification, so.
Yeah.
Any other comments? John?
Just a couple clarifying questions. So the sign that's facing State Street, that's on the building now, the aluminum sign, approximately 40 square feet, that will be the only
Yes.
exterior sign on a wall for the building, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And there is some door signage, but I don't think that falls under there has to be an identifier for the door. I drove it today, and I think it looked appropriate over the two entrance doors. There's an existing monument or pylon sign in front of the building with all of when it used to be a multi-tenant building. Is that going to be abandoned or taken down? Now
No, it's still remaining. It's still remaining. Yeah. We were waiting on the new plastic to come in.
Okay, well, I guess the question
Very
for
long time.
Chayton then is, are they, under the sign ordinance, are they allowed to have the wall sign and also a pylon or monument sign?
I believe so. I have the code open right here. I can just take a look.
And for the record, I think the wall you've chosen facing 38 is the highest visibility. I think I'm supportive of the request, because to put it on the street, whatever is Commerce Drive, there's no traffic. You need visibility, and to be successful, you need people to be able to see it. So I understand the request. I just want to understand exactly where there will be signage.
Okay. Yeah. Just the marquee existing, and then the one side of the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, they are allowed to have one freestanding sign on per zoning lot.
So besides the fact that we're going to a secondary wall, there's no other variances or to the sign code?
That's correct.
Okay.
Michael?
I'm just curious, the previous sign, does anybody know if that was ever permitted before Stephanie took over the building or the business?
I can't answer that. It was there for a while. I don't know if it predated our sign ordinance or.
Which sign are you?
The sign that was there previously that said dog, or dog daycare, or I think, was it red letters that were on the building?
Yeah, from the previous owner.
Yeah,
So
from the
not
previous
these
owner.
owners, But yeah.
So I just wondered if that was in compliance at the time it was put up, or if we know.
Yeah, I'm unaware, but I mean, I can find that answer for you and get back to the commission.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah, I know. Any other comments?
I did have one.
Yes, Mike?
But yeah, I'm in support of the request as well, and particularly in the area, some of the other signage there is not dissimilar. I think is it a steelworks company that's on Commerce, and their signage actually faces, while it's over their front door, it doesn't face the public street. Same kind of situation, so I think that, that I would be in favor of their request.
Any other comments? Adam, do you have anything?
Nothing here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm also in support of this in terms of the hardship. It meets all the criteria. I believe with the staff report, it meets the criteria for granting a variance. It's facing over commercial property towards State Street. I mean, it's not going to create any adverse impact at all. And so I'm in support of it as well. Any other comments? Do I have a motion?
Move to close the pub, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Is there
Oh,
any?
that's right, the public, yeah. I'm sorry, I made that assumption.
Okay. I will just mention to the commission that we did receive one public comment submitted to the city, and that comment was in favor, but that will be available, currently is available on the website, in the agenda center in the minutes column for this meeting, but it will also be posted on the development page for this sign variation tomorrow.
Okay, so no public comment? Nobody's attending, okay, so, all right, so I guess we can now entertain the motion.
I move to close the public hearing.
Second?
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Evans. Celeste, please call the roll.
Thank you. Holloman,
Aye.
Evans,
Evans, aye.
Madaskil,
Madaskil, aye.
Mead,
Mead, aye.
Slivka,
Slivka, aye.
Stocking.
Stocking eye.
That passes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for a variation from section 11-12-6B2 regulations by sign type to permit a wall sign on the building's secondary building facade located at 100 South Glengarry Drive, subject to the findings of fact contained in the staff report.
Very good.
Slivka, second.
Moved and seconded. Celeste, please call the roll.
Okay, for approval, we have Holloman,
Aye.
Evans,
Evans, aye.
Madaskil,
Madaskil, aye.
Mead,
Mead, aye.
Slivka,
Slivka, aye.
and Stocking.
Stocking's eye.
That passes.
All right, very good. So they will go to council. Do we have a date?
Let me check. Should be in the packet. Looking like April 19th, Monday, April 19th, is when it's anticipated to be taken before city council for consideration.
Okay, so that's the next step. So April 19th in front of council. All right, thank you very much
Thank you.
for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. So,
Yes.
there is no public on, so there's no public comment. Okay, so we can go into other business.
Well, I guess I'll mention that at our next meeting, which is April 22nd, we will be having a public hearing for a special use for the Verizon tower, the proposed communication tower on Randall Road. So just be prepared for that. And there will be a balloon test conducted on Tuesday, April 20th. So this is when the company that has submitted the application has hired, or they might be doing it themselves, I'm not for sure, but there will be a balloon sent up to 100 feet, which represents the proposed height of the tower, just to kind of get a visual example of what it may look like.
What time of day will that happen?
So this will take place between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. on Tuesday, April 20th.
You mean sometime between then, or they'll leave it up for the 4 hours so people can get a perspective?
Yes, they will leave it up for that 4-hour period.
Okay, cool.
What was the time?
So it'll be on Tuesday, April 20th, between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m.
Okay.
And in case there is poor weather that day, they will reschedule it to the next day, which will be Wednesday, April 21st, same time from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
And in the public notice for the meeting?
Yes.
All is aware that it's going to happen.
Yeah, so there are several steps that the applicant would normally take for the special use, but they were also required to send out just notifications about the balloon test to neighboring property owners within 500 feet.
Okay, so they got direct mail.
Yes, they got that, and then additionally, and then they did post it in the Daily Herald as well about the balloon test. So we have 2 public notifications, one for the public hearing that will take place, and then another for the balloon test.
And they got a direct mail within 500.
Yes, yeah, and both, all property owners within 500 feet got a direct mailing for each of those events, the public hearing and the balloon test. Additionally, there is a 3-foot by 5-foot sign near the intersection of Randall Road and Christina Lane. It's in the south right-of-way near those trees. It just, I can't remember the exact wording of it, but it just says that there will be a balloon test on such date. And it gives the purpose of it just to represent the height of a proposed tower at an address. So there's multiple ways that, methods that the public has been attempted to be reached.
Very good. All right. That would be the only item on the agenda.
Yes, that should be the only item on the agenda at this time.
Okay. Anything else cooking?
I just have some active applications right now that are just going through the comment phase with staff. Nothing close to being brought to the Planning and Zoning Commission at this time. We might have a concept review in May, but we'll provide some further details on that if that actually pans out, so.
Okay. All right, very good. And so, and then we'll hopefully have a new commissioner, so
Yes.
that'll be good, so, all right. All right, any other comments from the commissioners?
Looks like Dunkin' Donuts is almost open.
And it's, I'm telling you, it's powered up. They got,
It said fourth
they got
quarter, they
equipment in
didn't say
there.
what year.
People are knocking on the windows, wondering.
Every time I go by there, it's more ready. Somehow it was a little bit, just a little bit more ready than last
It's a long time to roast those beans.
time. Those beats. All right, any other comments? All right, very good.
Move to adjourn.
Thank you, ma'am.